After vaccine approval comes vaccine incentives.
All students, and as well faculty and staff, all members of our university community, $150.
Including a big one here in South Florida. Arrest at a Fort Lauderdale school shortly after an anti-mask protest near campus. And look out below.
The next thing I heard was just loud crash.
A boulder comes crashing into a home. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Danelle Dukin.
And I'm Zitlali Solache. Today is Thursday, August 26, 2021.
From the South Florida Media Network's Biscayne-based studios in North Miami, this is SFMN Newsbreak.
Vaccine incentives following the FDA's full approval of the Pfizer vaccine. More local governments and businesses are beginning to implement these programs.
The network's Christopher Gomez tells us how some in South Florida can get access to these rewards.
Due to the recent rise in COVID-19 cases, many organizations are taking action to help curb the spread.
We are in the midst of a very significant surge.
With the rise in cases and the FDA's full approval of the Pfizer vaccine, many local governments and businesses are beginning to implement vaccine mandates.
They're going to give a lot of incentive and backing for a lot of institutions and organizations and places of employment to mandate.
These mandates come as many places have begun to offer vaccine incentives, such as the state of Wisconsin.
They are launching a new COVID-19 vaccine reward program from now until Labor Day. If you're a Wisconsin resident and you get your first COVID-19 shot here in the state, you'll get $100.
And closer to home, Florida International University announced yesterday that they'll be providing rewards for those that get vaccinated.
Happy to announce that we have established a vaccine incentive program. We will be providing all students and as well faculty and staff, all members of our university community, $150 at the conclusion of their vaccine program.
Those of you FIU students hoping to redeem your incentives, you can do that through your FIU One card. And if you got vaccinated before this point, they're releasing details on what the rewards will be for that program. Reporting in North Miami, Christopher Gomez, South Florida Media Network.
South Florida father and anti-mask protester Dan Bauman was arrested after some pushing and shoving with a student at Fort Lauderdale High School. The incident caught on camera. According to the FLPD, Bauman is known to cause disruption over the school board's mask policy. Police say he was recording students, and when a girl who didn't want to be recorded reached for Bauman's phone, Bauman pushed her backwards into a fence.
I've been doing this for 4 days.
A police officer and school security had to pull Bauman off of the teenager. Bauman was immediately taken into custody and sent to the Broward County Jail.
A Miami vacation ending in heartbreak after a father was killed while trying to protect his 1-year-old son. On Tuesday night, 21-year-old Dustin Wakefield was dining with his family at a Miami restaurant when a gunman walked towards them pointing a gun at the toddler. Wakefield was then shot and killed after standing between the gunman and his son. Wakefield, who was visiting from Denver area, is being remembered by his loved ones who were devastated by the news.
The day I met him, he was just this kind, wonderful person and wanted to make something for himself, and that means he wants to provide for his family.
The alleged gunman, Tamarius Davis, was arrested after the shooting. Police say he was admitted to officers that he was high on mushrooms. He is being charged with murder and held without bond.
Flooding and heavy rain is affecting Venezuela, and at least 20 people are found dead. The government reported that there are more than 804 homes affected, and 120 of them were completely destroyed. Cars have been swept out, buildings and businesses are filled with mud, and about 400 families lost all of their belongings. In a statement, President Nicolás Maduro signed an emergency decree to respond to the tragedy.
A man wants all apologies and much more from the surviving members of Nirvana.
The surprising reason why is still ahead, and so is this story.
Boom. So I figured when I opened up my door, this house was down. I thought this house imploded.
A huge rock rolling down a mountain and crashing into a house, not once, but twice. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
Freedom. It's at the core of who we are. The freedom to live without fear, to jog where we please, to wear a hoodie. The freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight, both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back, because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Teleprompter.
Homeworker, a family learning the hard way the dangers of living at the bottom of a mountain. The large boulder falling on a Hawaii home causing a lot of damage.
The network's Alejandra Garcia is in the control center with the story behind the pictures.
A man in Hawaii says it sounded like an earthquake when a 6-foot boulder crashed into his next-door neighbor's home during a storm. No injuries were reported, but the massive rock damaged the property.
The next thing I heard was just loud crash. I mean, boom. So I figured when I opened up my door, this house was down. I thought this house imploded.
The boulder, measuring close to 6 feet tall, crashed into the home during heavy rain around 8:30 Monday night. Jamie Dimodov lives next door and is still trying to process the destruction that happened.
See how the fence is, how it banked up right off here, and it shot a lot of splinters inside the room there and stuff. And as you can see, the damage that was done. And then after it came, and it looks like it just shot and it came straight down.
Not only did it crash into the home, but the boulder collapsed into the sidewalk.
Look at this. I mean, you could just only imagine the poundage and the pressure.
And then crashed into a cement wall, smashing bricks and shattering glass. Through 8 years of living in the area, Dimodov has always been attentive of the landslide threat. Yet, this incident is not enough for him to end his lease.
To move over something like this, no, I wouldn't. But I do reevaluate things. Last night when I went to bed, I did think twice, like, is another boulder going to come down? So I'm going to be a little bit more aware of things now, that's for sure.
The home's residents are seeing how to get the rock removed and whether anything else is loose on the cliff. In the Control Center, Alejandra Garcia, South Florida Media Network.
Spencer Eldon, the baby from Nirvana's most iconic album, Nevermind, is suing the band over alleged sexual child exploitation. The album shows an image of a naked baby swimming in a pool reaching for a $1 bill. Eldon, now 30, is suing the last surviving band members for $150,000 in damages, legal costs, and because of what he calls child pornography.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Zitlali Solache.
And I'm Danelle Dukin. Get more news anytime at sfmn.fiu.edu.